I mean, it's like they just keep getting bigger every single week. Good morning and welcome to Coffee Convo Wednesday. I will be your host for today, and actually every Coffee Convo Wednesday I'll be your host. I'm Cindy Simmons. Thanks for hanging out with me. Today is Wednesday, July 19th, like the middle of summer. So I hope you're all having a good summer. For those of you who are joining for the first time, my name's Cindy. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I used to be a radio host at a radio station in Atlanta, Georgia for about 12 years, and now I host Coffee Convo Wednesday. Live in Atlanta, but am moving in less than 2 weeks to Orlando, Florida. Why? Why not? Life is short, right? So thanks for hanging out with me. If this is your first time, hit like. If it's not your first time, hit like so I know you're hanging out with me. So grab your cup of coffee, sit back and relax because we have a big show today. I have so many funny things to talk about. So interact and let me know you're here. In fact, why don't you tell me where you're watching from? Because I want to say thank you to Susan Egbert. Susan Egbert sent me this amazing mug. Susan is from Marietta, Georgia. And as I always say, send me a ginormous mug and I will send you a t-shirt in exchange. So thank you, Susan from Marietta, Georgia, for this great mug. Cheers. I mean, it is big too. So lots of fun stuff on the show today. Number one, I have to share a story with you. Like I said, sit back, get your coffee and relax because I'm going to take you on a ride today. Last week, all of last week, I decided at the very last minute, because I don't know why I would have thought being gone for a week when I'm trying to pack and get ready to move our family of 5 from Atlanta to Florida. I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but hey, carpe diem and live life, right? I decided to take my 2 daughters on a week-long Lobsters and Lighthouses girls-only road trip. We hooked up with my friend Desiree and her daughter Daly, and we basically went down the coast of Florida and hit up all of these like beachy towns and saw some lighthouses and everything, and it was super fun because my whole goal of the week was I just need to get away for a week, do something inexpensive, and just give my girls an adventure, create some memories, if you will. So the memory that I want to tell you about, and I'm sure there will be many to come over the next couple of weeks, because this one though is my favorite, is we went surfing, as in we went to go learn how to surf. I've never surfed before in my life, and some background on me, I'm from Los Angeles, California. I grew up about a half hour from the beach, but I've never been surfing, mostly because I'm super uncoordinated and I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually terrified. I was terrified of surfing. So my friend says, hey, I signed us up, we're all gonna take lessons. That was my face. And I really didn't want to do it because I was chicken. I was scared. And I have no problem admitting that. So we roll up. So we're in a minivan because Toyota so kindly gave us a Toyota Sienna, which I now may be a minivan user, but we'll save that for another show. But this minivan was awesome. So we roll up in this minivan in front of this surf shop in Jacksonville, Florida called Jack's Surf and Paddle. And standing, I'm not even exaggerating, standing out in front of the surf shop is this shirtless guy. Ladies and gentlemen, he may have been one of the most beautiful men I've ever seen. And he's just standing there with his shirt on. And I roll up and I'm like, no, please don't let him be my instructor. Please just don't let him be the one teaching us to surf. Like, just let him be a guy who's standing out in front of a surf shop with his shirt off. Oh no. He was one of the instructors. And you know what his name is? Walker. It's like Walker, I don't know, Walker something. Walker Dillon, like 2 first names. So that automatically makes you hot. His name's Walker and he's hot. Then this tiny little bathing suit, barely bathing suit clad girl, Amelia, comes out. And I'm like, and I literally look at my friend and I said, when I die, I want to come back as her, safer our show word, tushy. When I die, I want to come back as her tushy because it literally was the nicest tushy I have ever seen. Of course, she's like maybe 25, so there's that. And she's a surf instructor. So all of the insecurities come flooding over me, as most of us are when we have to be in a bathing suit, A, and when we have to be in a bathing suit in front of anyone else, right? And C, when we have to be in a bathing suit in front of someone who's considerably younger than you and totally hot. So, and then I'm terrified on top of all of that. So it was like a pile of like insecurities. It was basically like an insecurity party. So we schlep out, we stand on the sand, get on the surfboards, learn to surf, whatever. And we go out into the ocean, and I'm kind of scared, like super scared, not kind of scared, really scared. And I get with Amelia, who, by the way, is like a surfing rock star. She was amazing. So she was the one sort of helping me, and they show you how to like get on and you paddle and then get up, and they tell you right to get up. And y'all, I got up and I surfed every single time. Now, did I stay up every single time? No, I fell down every single time. But I got up on the surfboard every single time. I couldn't even believe it. So one of the last times, I see Amelia, and she's like, all right, you ready? I'm like, yeah. And then Walker, who was so sweet, he was hanging out with my 4-year-old because she doesn't really know how to swim, so she has her flotation device, and he's helping her, and she loved it because who wouldn't? It's Walker. And he's like, hey, Cindy, you wanna do a run with me? And I'm like, hey, Walker, no, I'm good. Thanks. No. So I go over to Amelia with the perfect derriere. And derriere. Why did I take French in high school? So I go over and I'm like, like feeling like this beached whale on this surfboard, like, your tush is hanging out because you have a bathing suit on and you're like, ah, and there's perfect Walker guy all with his hotness and whatever. And I look at her and I told her, I said, you know what I said to my friend when we rolled up? And I told her how I wanted, like when I died, to come back as her tush because it was so amazing. And she starts dying laughing. And then I'm telling her how Walker was like, hey, Cindy, I'll do a run with you. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Walker, surfer guy, not happening. And so she and I are just like sitting there laughing. And she was amazing. Like I felt, it's kind of weird, but I went in with all of this like body insecurity, like I said, as we all have this, right? You're just like, oh, I'm in my bathing suit, I'm feeling super exposed, and then I don't know how to do something, so you're just feeling like uncoordinated and all of that. But you guys, it was like hands down one of the most amazing experiences of my life. Surfing. I surfed with my daughters, and it was amazing. It was so amazing when I was done. Like the last one that like I rode in was the longest because I guess I had done it, I don't know, 6-7 times at that point, that I felt really emotional. And I felt like, man, I am so glad that I just didn't give in to all of that massive insecurity and said, no, I'm good. I don't want to do that. I don't want to go surfing. Because I would have missed out on one of the most amazing life experiences ever. Like I felt just super like, I'm on top of the world, yeah! Like just super powerful and super strong. And then I realized, like, I've said this before on Coffee Convo Wednesday shows, we've got to give ourselves a break. Like we're so hard on ourselves, like, oh my gosh, I got to lose this weight, I don't exercise, and I hate that, and we all come in different body shapes and sizes. And yes, Walker and Amelia, they're like, whatever, 25 years old and had amazing bodies because they, like, live in Jacksonville and surf every day. And that's their path, and they look amazing, and good for them. And this is what I am. I've had 2 children, and I've survived breast cancer. And I surfed. So I felt like, thank you, God, for giving me this amazingly strong and healthy body so that I could go surfing with my daughters, who will, all right, maybe the 4-year-old won't remember, but who will remember that experience for the rest of their lives. And that made me feel really good. So can I get a big fat like or heart button for that? Because it was awesome. So I highly recommend, if you've ever thought about trying surfing, just to like check it off my bucket list, because that was really the only thing I wanted to do. Like, let's do this surfing thing and like check it off the bucket list. Do it, and don't like just anything really, anything where you're like, oh, I don't want to do that because I got to lose weight or I'm not in shape or bleh. Like, who cares? You have a strong body, own it. who cares about all that other stuff? Because at the end of your life, that doesn't matter. And what matters is that my daughter saw me get up and stand up on a surfboard. It may not have been the prettiest sight, but by golly, I did it, and it was awesome. So as far as Walker, yeah, Walker, you can keep that shirt off because it brought lots of joy. And it was so funny because my girlfriend Desiree, her daughter, daily when we rolled up and we see Walker there with his shirt off, as we were all just like this, like that emoji with the eyes, like that. So her daughter goes, wow, he's really fit. We're like, yes. He's really fit. Even my 4-year-old could recognize, like, yeah, he's really fit, Mommy. It was so funny. You just go surfing is what I'm saying. Go surfing and don't get caught up on insecurities or whatever. All right. So on the show today, number 2, I want to talk to you about Game of Thrones because I guess the new season premiered on Sunday night, and I have actually never seen one single episode of Game of Thrones. But supposedly, Ed Sheeran was on Game of Thrones, and the Twitterverse lost their minds because apparently you Game of Thrones fans, a lot of you did not like seeing Ed Sheeran on Game of Thrones. I'm not exactly sure why, because I've never watched the show, but my understanding is that maybe it was like, hey, here's this pop singer in this fantasy-like show, and they didn't like it. And so supposedly, and I don't know if it's connected, but Ed Sheeran quit Twitter yesterday. I guess he was like, deuces up, peace out, people. You're going to be mean to me on Twitter, or on Twitter about Game of Thrones, then I'm going to peace out of Twitter. Here's the thing. As I said at the beginning of the show, I had my own radio show for 12 years, and I love Ed Sheeran because he was super nice to my daughter when I interviewed him on our show, and it was amazing. And I've interviewed him a couple times, and each time he was awesome. So maybe I get it if you aren't a fan, but don't be mean to Ed Twitter. Don't be mean on Twitter to Ed Sheeran is all I'm saying. Really don't be mean to anyone on Twitter, like, really. But like Ed Sheeran, and I don't know if that's really why he got rid of Twitter, but I love Ed Sheeran. And Ed Sheeran was a good guy both times. And if you're good to my kid, then I gotta have your back. So that's me having his back. So I guess maybe it wasn't like the greatest moment to have him on Game of Thrones, but we can still be kind, don't you think? I'm just saying. So, and yeah, some of you were saying it took me out of the fantasy, this show, which is what I think people were saying, but people were saying it a lot meaner than that. But we're allowed to have our opinion, that's okay, but just don't be mean. Just don't be mean to Ed Sheeran. So, I like Ed Sheeran, that's what I'm saying. There you go. All right, and finally on Coffee Convo Wednesday today, so many of you who watch the show are huge Disney fans, and our family loves to go to Walt Disney World all the time. So they just had this big fan expo called D23 in Los Angeles, California, and all of these like major cool Disney announcements were made. So I just wanted to share a bunch with you, and I'm gonna like rapid fire through them in case you're like, I don't really care. Then I'm gonna make it quickly and then give you something for your trouble at the end. I am a huge Star Wars fan. Obviously, thank you again, Susan, for my new mug. But, I don't know like the names of every single character of the planets. All I know is Star Wars was like a huge part of my childhood. So much so, we used to play Star Wars in my neighborhood. And it was me and my best friend Valerie, who is brunette. Well, Princess Leia was brunette. And so she always got to play Princess Leia, and there wasn't another female role that I could play. So I always got stuck playing C-3PO. Yeah, I can't even do C-3PO. So I felt a little ripped off. But Star Wars was a huge part of my childhood. And again, I don't know all like the names of the planets and all of that. I just know that it represents my childhood, and I love it. So much so, we did a Star Wars Christmas card a couple years ago. You can go to CindySimmons.com or Google it, you'll find it. But here are a couple of things that are happening at Walt Disney World in the next, some are very soon and some aren't for years. But they're doing a Star Wars themed hotel. I'm like, take all my money, Disney, take all my money. Like literally, you will go in, check it out. You will go in and stay at the Disney Star Wars hotel. You'll look out windows and you'll be looking out to space. So you won't even be looking and seeing like if it's raining or sunny in Florida, but you will be looking out into space. Oh my gosh, Star Wars themed hotel. So that's coming sometime in the next couple of years. Star Wars lands are coming to both Magic Kingdom and also Disneyland. They're going to open in 2019. They're called Star Wars Galaxy Edge. Again, sign me up. Take all my money, Disney, because I love Star Wars. Toy Story Land is opening summer of next year, 2018. They're bringing a Tron-themed attraction. And for those of you who never saw the movie Tron, that came out like a bazillion years ago, like I was really young, but I loved that movie. And it's at Shanghai Disney, so they're bringing the Tron ride to Magic Kingdom in Florida. So thank you, Shanghai Disneyland, for having that. So Epcot, a couple things going on at Epcot. Ratatouille, oh, one of my favorite Disney movies. My daughters love Ratatouille. Yeah, they're going to do a Ratatouille attraction in France at Epcot. Mind blown, because I love Ratatouille, because I love everything having to do with Paris and France. So that's going to be awesome. That will be, I guess, the 50th anniversary of Walt Disney World is happening like in, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, 2021. So there's going to be Ratatouille, a Guardians of the Galaxy attraction is coming to Epcot. And then over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, they're doing a Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. It's going to be a Mickey and Minnie ride, which is kind of cool. So they're closing that great movie ride that was there. I don't know if it's going in its place there or where yet. They haven't said, but all right. And then in other Disney news, they're adding 3 new Disney Cruise Line ships. So if you've ever been thinking about going on a Disney cruise, I highly recommend it. It's awesome. And they're going to be out by 2023. And then the last thing, I wanted to show you this because I kind of love it, but well, first, Disney Skyliner, that's like one of those bucket rides. Like if you remember, they used to have them at Magic Kingdom and we had them at Disneyland growing up. But they're going to have one of those that will connect you from, I think it's Disney's Art of Animation, Pop Century, and Caribbean Beach Resorts. It'll connect you to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. But here's the cool part. Look what they have. They're called mini vans. It's like Disney's version of Uber, but get it? Mini vans. Why I kind of like this is because I'm obsessed with polka dots. I just love polka dots and stripes. I'm like a pattern chick. As you can see, I'm wearing stripes today. But look at how cute those are, and they're called mini vans. So they're kind of like Disney's version of Uber. So I just love all of that happening at Disney. All of those announcements came out this week, so I wanted to run through and share them with you. So that's Coffee Convo Wednesday. Before we get out of here, though, again, tell me where you're watching from, because I just love to see, we have people all over the United States watching, which I love. Thank you. And I want to hook you up with some free coffee. How do you get free coffee? All you have to do is make sure that you like, love, make a wow face on this post, whatever. But comment something down below. Tell me where you're watching, and then tag someone. Tag someone who maybe has never watched Coffee Convo Wednesday, and I'll hook you up with some free coffee. And then I will just randomly select a winner on Friday, probably around 5 p.m. So that's Friday, July 21st. So again, just comment below, hit like, and share, and you can get some free coffee, and then I will announce the winner sometime over the weekend. So you have until Friday, July 21st at 5 p.m. So that's Coffee Convo Wednesday. On the show today, we talked about my surfing experience for the first time, and Walker and Amelia, who were amazing surf instructors, and it was just a good reminder for me and for everyone. If you're like letting exercise or, oh, I'm so insecure about my body, or whatever you're insecure about, hold you back from having a really amazing life experience, stop it now, because I almost missed out on surfing because I was so freaked out and so like, I don't want to do this. But I did it, and it was awesome, and now I have that memory with my daughter. So go do you. Go do it. Number 2 on the list, Game of Thrones. Ed Sheeran was on. I guess a lot of you did not like that. So let me know if you're watching Game of Thrones. Tell me about it. Tell me, are you watching it? Like, should I watch it? I don't know. I've heard like mixed reviews that it might be too intense. But yeah, apparently a lot of you Game of Throners, I don't know what you're called, Game of Throners, didn't like Ed Sheeran on Game of Thrones. So weigh in below, let me know. And then number 3 on the list, lots of fun changes happening at Walt Disney World Resorts. I know a lot of you go to Disney or are making trips because you always email me, which I love, asking for advice. Our family, we're big fans of having those fun Disney experiences. So lots of fun changes coming in the next couple of years. And then free coffee, don't forget, like this post, share this post, and just make sure you tag one person. That's all, just tag one person, and then you'll be entered to win some free coffee. And also, if you come across a big obnoxious coffee mug, that's sort of like the fun theme of Coffee Convo Wednesday, send me a big coffee mug. You can email me, cindy@cindysimmons.com. And I'll give you an address, shoot the mug in the mail to me, and I'll send you a free t-shirt just for this. So thanks again, Susan from Marietta, Georgia, for my Stormtrooper mug. I thought it was appropriate since we were going to talk about the new Star Wars hotel coming to Walt Disney World, which I'm super excited about. And as always, follow me on all of the socials, Cindy A. Simmons or Surviving Mommy. And if you've missed any of the Coffee Convo Wednesday shows ever, we're on episode 66 today. Go back to YouTube and just search Cindy Simmons, and you can watch any Coffee Convo Wednesday show from the last year or so and catch up if you want. Or I don't know, just hang out and watch them all day. Like, do nothing else. Don't do your work. Don't take care of your family. Just watch my Coffee Convo Wednesday show. I'm just kidding. Join me next Wednesday, same time, same place. One more week in this house, and then we'll be moving to a new location in Florida. But we will still be doing Coffee Convo Wednesday. So thanks for hanging out with me. Like this, share it with your friends, tag a friend, and have a great week. And thanks for hanging out with me on Coffee Convo Wednesday. Love you guys. Happy Wednesday. Cheers.